Hello, challenge buddies. Welcome to week 8 of my Halloween drawing challenge. Who is tired already? Is anyone tired of creating? I'm not tired, but I have to say, I have not posted today's prompt yet. So there's that. I will show you the process of what I've been doing. Um, because I was like, what this always happens to me. Hi, Susan. This always happens to me when I'm doing a workshop. I'm like, okay, we're doing the workshop today. And then I'm like, well, actually, I have to post an entry. I have to post something for today's prompt. So, anyway, so nice to see you, Gina. Hi. Okay, let me show you. Let's see. Let's see if we can do this today. All right. So this is my attempt of an entry of a post. So I had this little ghost in a stamp, and I was very happy to have stamps and for my character to be a little ghost. But I was like, okay, I can do something fast with this. So I'm gonna do one like that for speak, another one, as you may imagine, for hear no evil, and another one for see no evil. So that is going to be all of my creativity for today's prompt. I have to catch up with the community space. I saw a few things fast. I loved them as usual. And okay, let me see. I'm gonna show you what we're doing to. Oh, also I wanted to show you this one. So I had like a sketch for an idea that of something silly that I wanted to do to give a little shout out to my sunglasses. But it was like it didn't work out. So I wanted to show you the thumbnail. All right. So today we're going to start. Oh, first, before we start, I want to say something. Oh, sorry. I thought that you were saying something in the chat about the workshop because last week we had the problem with YouTube. So now I'm like, so yesterday I have a special announcement at one point today, and also I want to say yesterday was Susan's birthday. So happy birthday, Susan. I should have some like some like special announcement music, but so we want to celebrate your birthday even though it's a day late. Hi, Roxy. Okay, happy birthday, Susan. And we're going to get started so I don't get distracted. We're gonna create a new canvas. We're gonna start from scratch today, and we're going to make it 3,000 by 3,000, not 30,000. Gosh, 3,000 pixels. We're gonna create it, and we're gonna make the background. I'm gonna choose this one from the last palette that I gave you. I think it was last week. And we're going to start with our pumpkins. We're going to be carving and also craving, apparently. Someone wants to eat pumpkins. We're going to start carving our pumpkins without the mess. So that's pretty cool because, like, I don't know. I know that some of you already carved a lot of pumpkins before, and that is messy. That takes a long time. So this is the cool way of carving and decorating pumpkins. So today, this week we have a brush set. called Carving Craze for the prompt. I think it's coming up next week. That's the final week of the challenge. I cannot believe it. So we have a few brushes here to have fun. We're gonna get started with this one, maybe. We're gonna make a silly one first to celebrate. Maybe I'm gonna pick this color. I hope that everyone has every palette available. Or if you're working on your own prompt, then or your own sketch for tomorrow, maybe that's also great. Let's see. We want to. I'm not sure how many we're gonna make, so I'm gonna start right here, as if I were dividing the canvas in 4. I'm gonna put it over here, and that, in my opinion, is a bit too dark. So, as usual, I'm going to adjust. All right. And I'm going to turn this into alpha lock and fill the layer with that color. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to create a new layer on top, and with, let's see, this my usual bonobo chalk. I'm going to give it a bit of shading, and then this is going to be pretty easy, actually, because it's very straightforward. I know that Gina has done a few pumpkins for today's prompt, I think. And I love all of your expressions for your characters. So this one would be a pretty easy one for Gina. And honestly, all of you here, you're doing you're doing so well, and I love all of your characters. So for this new layer that I made, we're going to make it into a clipping mask so that we can use some shading, apply some shading to the side and to the bottom. Let's see. Okay. And with a bit of a lighter color, we're going to do the same for the upper part, or the top, and maybe some, like, very, very fast, some highlights, so that we are kind of like defining the pumpkin a little bit. Next, we're going to grab a much darker purple, and we're going to paint this stem. There was one time when I bought a pumpkin to carve for that that class that I always mention that I don't want to promote too much on Skillshare, because it happened a long time ago for me, and I always say that I'm not, I like talking about it because it was a lot of work and it was a lot of fun. But anyway, so I bought this pumpkin and I put it in the car and of course in the trunk, and of course I didn't fasten it to anything. And what happened? It was a big pumpkin. It rolled all over the place, and then the stem, it didn't come off, but it got a bit injured. A few like parts were exposed, if you will, and so that's no good. As we know, like, we need it to be, I don't know, as whole as possible, or as preserved as possible. I'm gonna now, by the way, grab like uh this color, something a bit darker, to add a few lines. So I I still could use it, but it was always a problem because uh, at one point it got a bit moldy, like the stem, and then, well, that was that. So for, you know, that I learned something. You can't just like put a pumpkin in your trunk and just expect for it to survive. Okay. So I don't know if like sometimes like I know that gourds have a lot of warts, I'm gonna call them. Um but I don't know. Pumpkins sometimes also have, maybe they're not pumpkins. That's another thing, another problem that I have with like these terms. What is a pumpkin and what is a gourd? I know that gourds are like sometimes they have a. Oh, I should have done that in a new layer. Well, we're gonna go with that. Um, they're a bit, gourds are a bit longer and they have a weird shape. Um, right. So let's add a cute. We're going to add these words that I'm talking about. I hope they're called that. We're gonna make a clipping mask so that we have them in a different layer in case I change my mind about something. And honestly, like for these, I just make shapes like as if they were, I think of popcorn, and that's what I do. It's as simple as that. Uh, I'm trying to put them like maybe we can put one over here to use it as the nose. Um, and let's see. Okay. Like just a few. There's another one that I like a lot from the brushes that could have a lot of them. Okay, so I'm gonna add the eyes, and maybe that will give me an opportunity to take a look at the chat for a little bit. So I'm gonna create a new layer, and let me see. Okay. I like seeing the chat. Uh, you know, I saw something. I'm not gonna say anything. I saw something in the chat that's related to today's announcement. But I'm not gonna talk about it yet, so I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, so we're gonna give it a sparkle as usual, and we're gonna give it a very silly smile. Has anyone thought of their open prompt yet? This is something that I'm very excited about. And I wanna know if you don't have to tell me which one. Obviously, you don't have to reveal the the open prompt for Halloween. But I would love to know if you have been thinking about it, because as you know, I love your stories behind your illustrations, and that is a silly face. And I love your twists and everything that you create. And so the nice, Gina has an idea. Awesome. Because this is like, to me, it's one of the most fun parts to the creative prompts are, I'm so glad that I thought of that as I was creating the prompts. I have a confession. I kind of ran out of ideas, and then I was like, we have to have an open prompt. And then I was like, when? Halloween. Obviously, it has to be the final one. So I'm happy that that happened. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So Roxy has different ideas. Susan has finished today's prompt. That's awesome. I will have to finish mine. I think I'm gonna post like at midnight or something. No, it shouldn't take that long. But I have to finish mine after this this workshop. Okay, so let's see. For this, I also want to add a few details around. So we have brushes. Where? I think it was, oh yeah, in the fall brush set, we have a few flying leaves. So I want to add them as if they were flying around. I had this idea from a different prompt diorama, I think it was. I made a pumpkin. I don't think I have it handy. I made a purple pumpkin for that one, and then a little scene with a couple of ghosts inside. Okay, we're gonna. I think this one is called Flying Leaves 1. So we're gonna use it to create this sense of flying leaves around it. And then we're going to duplicate this layer and make a couple of tinier ones. Let's flip it. Maybe put it over there. They're too close to the pumpkin. I want to, okay. Also, like, I think in general, I don't have this snapping thing going on. I feel a bit limited by it sometimes. I don't know why I had it on. Must have done something with the labels as I was thinking about the prompt, the today's illustration. So, okay. Now we're gonna add in a different layer. I like, by the way, I was thinking about what I wanted to point out about the faces and the expressions. The other day, Gina said that as she was drawing her her illustrations, she would make the faces. I don't know. I think I am like all of the time I'm looking at the screen so I can see my face, but it would be pretty funny if today we have that happen where you see you see me making a silly face like this guy. I hope it happens. But yeah, when you're like concentrating in your own art and you're really in the groove of things, that definitely happens. That has happened to me. And then I'm like, what was that face? Or like, when you're like frowning like that, it's like, relax. Okay, little dots here and there as usual. I have another confession to make. One of my, as I was working on the thumbnail for today's workshop, one of my pumpkins, after the fact, so this happens a lot, right? Like you create something and then you look at it a day later and you either love it or you hate it. And so one of them to me looked like it had flies around, and it as if like those little lines that you make for like smell. And now I can't unsee it, and I don't want to hate the magical lines that I make that I like making. Okay, so from the drawing category, I'm going to pick this brush. Still don't know how to pronounce it. Called Oberon or Oberon. And with the same color as the background, I'm going to go right above the background color and change the blending mode to multiply. And now I'm going to add a bit of a ground. Now this one is the brush that I couldn't find last time that creates a little bit of a texture. Let's see if I can make it bigger so that you can see. I think you can see. And also, like, as you give different strokes, it it has like parts that look darker and others that look a bit lighter. So it is very much, it does give it like an analog look. I want it to be a bit higher. Okay. And then specifically like over there, maybe I want to use a darker color to give a sense of a shadow. Okay. Okay. So there we have this one. It's looking a bit like dull. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few highlights to the words. So with the texture brush, let's see. Maybe it has to be a bit lighter. Maybe like this color. Yes. It's this one. I used it a few times from palette 4. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. We have to brighten up his face. Also, we can ask either we can ask our kids, our grandkids, our friends, whoever, about like names, right? For these like little characters, as our challenge buddies have been doing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have one. I want to do one more, and maybe I'll consider talking about the special announcement. I feel bad for Roxy because she's probably really tired at this point, really sleepy. But I hope you can make it for the announcement. If not, it'll be on the replay. As usual. I'm not gonna take that off. Let me see, what do I want to make? Let's make the one that looks like a little house, because I love little houses, as some of you may know. Also, I'm wearing this dress. I don't know, it's not, you can't really see it, but it's a special day, so I decided to wear, some of you met me with this dress. And so I wanted to wear something special. Okay, let's do, for this one, we can actually use the same layer as the pumpkin, the first pumpkin. This one is going to be a gourd. I decided it is. I don't know if that's the right name, probably. Okay, so we're going to put it there. I also used this color. It's in both the 4th and the 6th palette. And let me see. I'm going to use my dry ink brush as usual. Turn that back into alpha lock, because I had to deactivate it for a moment so that I could actually make something, create a shape. I'm also talking like this in case we have new challenge buddies watching. It's a bit of an odd time, because I know that a lot of people have been thinking that it's too late to join. I don't think so. I think it's always early to create, to be creative, to spend some time on your art. This is not the right brush. I did call it, I did call it Gourd House, but for whatever reason, I didn't pick that one. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this one with the selection tool. I'm gonna cut it out and I'm gonna use the correct one. I thought that it was missing a few details. Okay. I always think it's a good idea to, as I was saying, to create art. And that's why I don't want this to end. Because I was thinking the other day, when I came up with this idea, that I hate saying goodbye. And so I'm never going to be able to say goodbye. So I'm always going to try to have ideas to hang out, keep hanging out. Okay, now we have the right one. Let's go back to Alpha Lock and let's choose maybe this orange. Yeah, why not? I said the other day that green, the combination of green and orange is to me a bit of a problem, a pet peeve, whatever you want to call it, because of my school uniform. But I have, you know, confronted my fears, and sometimes I have been able to combine them depending on their level of saturation. It's it's been a struggle, but I have been able to do it. Okay, I want to add a few things to this house. We obviously need windows, so I'm going to add a little bit of a weird shape here. And then a couple of windows to the side. The other day, I was also so glad. I wanted to thank my past self because there were a couple of days when I couldn't. I was running with a prompt. I wanted to pursue my very complicated ideas, and I was like, this is not going to be able. I'm not going to be able to do it if I keep doing this with this level of complexity. Then on Monday, I was like, I already made this prompt. And so I was happy about that. Let me see one thing. I need to actually go all the way to the top and create a new layer, because otherwise it's going to turn into a clipping mask, and I don't want that right now. So I forget now what the prompt was. I had 2 prompts in a row that I had already created. So I was so happy that I had done that. And I'm going to keep that because I would like to do this next year again, because it was a lot of fun. Obviously, like as you know, I say it all the time in the comments, in the community space. To me, it's like sitting down, looking at your illustrations and all of your ideas and your stories. To me, that's a lot of fun. That's why I spend so much time looking at it and responding. I actually like it. And I know that sometimes the things that I say, even if I ramble, may spark other ideas. So that's why I love doing it. I like analyzing things, going over them and seeing, what I can find, what little things were hidden by the person that created it. That's a lot of fun to me. And so anyway, I was saying that I'm switching between colors here to see where it goes. I want to do this again next year, and I want to keep that where we have the prep time and we have a few workshops that kind of address prompts that come in the future, because this week and next week are the, what do you call it? Like the home stretch? No, I always forget that phrase. And so it's obviously harder if you fall out of, if you're feeling like you're not keeping up or whatever. Like, it's nice to have a few illustrations done ahead of time. So I'm gonna keep that as a thing for next year. Um, okay, we have our windows. As I always say, in any case, even if you make just like a tiny illustration, when you then stop creating after the challenge and you have all of your illustrations in front of you, you're gonna see a lot of things that you would actually like to change or that you would like to add with like more time. When you think about it and you do things a bit more slowly, then you're going to see a lot of things and you're going to be grateful that you spend at least a little bit of time a day or a week, as I said last time. It doesn't have to be every day. There are different schedules, and that's why I made them, because I know that we all have busy lives and things just come up, they happen. And depending on our level and our where we're at in terms of skills, you see I'm fighting with the orange. uh, we may feel like there are days when it's a bit harder to create, and that's totally fine. That has happened to me. As you see, like I couldn't make today's prompt yet. Okay, I want to have the same color as the background in a new layer on top of the background, because I want to be able to the back for the background to be white as a like a sheet of paper would be. And so I want to be able to erase a few things from the colored background, as I did last time, to give it a bit of an offset. So this time I'm trying to keep my style that has fewer outlines or very few ones, and also try to add an analog twist. Maybe it looks more like a sticker that was like that wasn't put in the right place. But anyway, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go with it. So now we have the door. We have to work on the door. This one I'm gonna create. Let's keep it in the same layer as the windows, because we're gonna have to save a little bit of space on layers. What is this color that I want to create here? It is a purple, but that is too dark. Let's make it a bit lighter. Okay, maybe like that. And we're gonna make it a pumpkin house. It's gonna have a pumpkin on the door. And I should take a look at the chat, because I have probably missed a lot by now. Okay. That is the stem. Home stretch. Nice. That is correct. Okay. I like that. I was afraid I was mixing it up with home run. Okay. So just a few details here and there. Has any of you already created the... I know that I'm asking. This is like a bit of an odd question to work ahead of time on something that's coming up sometime next week, because I don't remember when it is. Every day I have to actually check the schedule myself because I forget what the prompts are. Has anyone worked on the carving craze one? I know that a lot of you have been doing thumbnails, but maybe you already have worked on it. Maybe it was something that sparked inspiration in the moment and then it's already done. It's one of those like happy surprises I was talking about a little bit ago. Okay, that's something around the door. Maybe some sort of candy. And then we're gonna create a bit of a path. So we have to go back to the layer with the gourd, and we're gonna just paint the few, like, we're gonna create a few steps here. Now I will need a little bit of a darker, maybe a darker color, maybe not black. So it has to be darker than the gourd. And I'm going to first make a few like bushes here. And then it's actually, oh, no, we're all the way on the top. Why did that happen? No idea. Probably got lost in what I was saying and then I went up again. Okay. We have to be in that layer with the gourd, and it is the alpha log is activated, so it's going to stay within. Oh, I know what happened, because I wanted to add a few lines and then I went away. Anyway, now we're gonna add the lines that I was talking about for the detail. Today's giveaway winners, or this week's, I should say, have been announced in the email that I sent out. But I think this is a good place to talk about it too, because you're both here. Susan, for her birthday, and Roxy won. It's a sketch swap with me, and as I said before, you can redeem it until the end of November. So congratulations again. We can definitely work on it during November. We don't have to think about sketch swap is swaps. A lot of nice words. Maybe something will like make me think of another prompt. And we don't have to think about that yet, but you won, so congrats. I think that's a fun one. I want to make it part of something in the future where we create a sketch and we exchange with challenge buddies or any sort of workshop buddy. We exchange our sketches and then we work on a final illustration ourselves. I think that is also, it's a really cool way of using our creativity. I'm only adding a few highlights to the stem, and after this I'm going to talk about the announcements, because we went past 8:30, I think. Yes. And that's the time that I wanted to talk about it, but as usual, we I talked too much. Let me just add the steps very quickly. And I think that's it. Maybe a few lines to sort of give it that fine liner style as we were doing last week. Okay. I think that's it for that one. Okay, we have two. It's time for the special announcements. I want to highlight a few comments because, let's see. Nice. That's awesome. I had a feeling that Gina would tell me that she had worked on her carving craze. I love that. um, okay, time for the announcement. Are you ready? Is everyone ready? Oh, hi Ruth. Hi, I didn't see you in the chat because I'm so late. Okay, I'm gonna let you answer. I know that we're a couple of seconds behind, and I'm gonna go. Okay, so I don't like saying goodbye, as I said. And so what did I do? What comes after Halloween? Someone said it in the chat before. What happens after Halloween that everyone is crazy about? What is the obvious answer? Okay, I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna do it. Let's see. I have to remove this first. Oh no, why can't I share my announcement? Let me see. That is so weird. Hang on. I have it like right here and I cannot share it with you. Other media streams from the stage. Okay, let me do something. I'm gonna remove myself for a moment and then we're gonna. Okay, I don't know why. That is so weird. I can't do the announcement. Of course, I would like mess up the tech today. Oh my god. Okay, let's think of an alternative. I'm gonna do it on my iPad. Why not? We have different options here, so we're gonna do it. I gave you like a little bit of time to answer in the meantime. So that's good. Let's see if you guessed. Of course it is Christmas. I mean, who loves Christmas here apart from me? And I know Susan said it the other day. So who else loves Christmas? And don't worry, it's not a challenge. We're not going to be spending 31, 25, whatever, however many days working. It's a more like chill paced thing that I have planned, if I can show you. Okay, we have it. We have it. I don't understand why I can't share this on stage, but we're going to do this on the iPad. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So here we are. We have, instead of the, not sure why that's vibrating. That's not supposed to be an animation, but there you go. It's like in celebration of the special announcement. It looks like it's dancing. We have Christmas drawing camp. I may every now and then call it Christmas drawing challenge because now I'm used to the challenge, but I decided to go for something different. We're calling it camp because it's not a challenge. It's something different. So we're going to have free workshops. A lot of you are going to get an email very soon. That's why I wanted to do this before that. Because you want access to exclusive workshops that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But first, we have free workshops. These are going to be simple. They're going to be pre-recorded, so I cannot go over the 1 hour mark. It's going to be either 1 hour or less, but nothing over an hour. However, I am going to be live watching as they get released so that we can have fun in the chat. So that I can finally be in the chat and I can talk, I can chat with you. So I thought that was a nice idea to, have them happen starting November 12th, because I want us to have a little bit of time to, relax, get away from the Halloween craze, get away from the mindset, relax, have some time to go over our illustrations, you know, um, just disconnect a little bit, and then move on to Christmas in November, because that's a good thing, right? I love all the all the reactions. I love it. I already put that one. Awesome. So we can have some time to relax, and then we're gonna move on to creating cute things for Christmas. Uh, the free workshops are going to happen once a week. They're going to be at the same time as these workshops, that have been happening for the Halloween challenge. Um, you remember, however, that you have all the information. I'm going to actually put the link here so that you can take a look. Sorry for the for my arm. Okay. I hope that worked as a link. Anyway, so you're gonna have all the information. You can have fun reading it whenever you want. It doesn't have to be when you're working on your prompts. But some of you have won exclusive workshops. This is what I was trying to get at. So in a few minutes, you're gonna get an email with a special discount, because what I want to say is you can choose the workshops. I forget. I'm going to have to check. Some of you won one, some of you won more. So you can choose from these exclusive workshops which ones you want to have, and you're going to have them for free because obviously you earned them. That's why I wanted everyone to participate, because I needed to give you rewards. And, I'm so happy that you did, because now I could, include you in the more, they're a bit more involved than the others. And so I have a couple of analog ones, and we have 4 digital ones. Also, I wanted to say these workshops have different times and different days. So what happened? Oh no! Okay, Susan, you missed the. I'm kidding. The most important part of today. No, I'm kidding. In any case, you're gonna get an email soon. So we're talking about Christmas drawing camp. It's gonna start on November 12th. So these workshops, what I want to say is that you have a special discount coming to your inbox, into your, in a little bit, in case you want to do them all. You're gonna have access to the free ones, and you're gonna have access to the ones that you won. So you don't have to do this. The ones that actually won things, you don't have to do this. However, if you wanted to do the full experience, I included a discount for you as an extra reward because of all of your participation, and everything that you've been doing has been great. So I wanted to just add it as a perk. Also, all of you, I'm saying this to the people here live. You have access to community space for good. This new drawing camp is not going to include the community space access in the free tier, because I have limited space there. And so that's why I kept saying, join the community space, join the community space. because once it's gone, the doors are closed, then that's it. I did say it a million times. You are not gonna let me lie here. Okay, so here we have the different tiers. You can read all of it on your own time. The workshops, by the way, I forgot to say this. They're going to include a little bit of animation too. There are a few animation details. Very easy in Procreate to do, but they add a little bit of another layer to our illustrations. So anyway, that's the news. That's the special announcement. I'm really happy about it. I love Christmas. I wanted to say it here so that it's very clear and you all know what's coming. I think you may have gotten the email by now. And that's it. In a little bit, I'm gonna leave that there because I like the vibrations. In a little bit, no. In a few days, I'm gonna send you an email, probably this weekend, with your opportunity to choose the exclusive workshops that you want to attend, so that I already know which ones I can give you access to. Okay. Now, let me put myself in full screen for a moment because I have to get back to Procreate. There we go. Okay. So that's the announcement. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you will be part of the camp, the drawing camp. And we will continue to hang out because you want a lot of giveaways. And there are other things coming up. I put them in the community chat so that it would be clearer, but be on the lookout for things. I added, by the way, the last thing that I'll say, I added dates for that first giveaway prize for that workshop that's going to be private. I added a couple of dates because we couldn't coincide, all of us. So just to give another opportunity to see if we can. If not, we'll figure something out. But just so you know, you're going to get an email about that to vote again for a time to attend it. All right. Having said that, let's continue with maybe something silly again. We're going to go with a silly gourd. Now I'm going to actually pay attention to my own names. What color do I want to make it? Maybe it can be orange, like a saturated orange, so that it can look a bit angry. I don't know. I'm gonna turn this into alpha lock, and let's make the stem. Is this the same color as the background? Probably, yes. I'm gonna make it slightly darker. All right. I think it may be raining at this time. I was gonna say earlier, I'm wearing a dress, but it's not dress weather. Okay, so for this one, I do want to add a lot of words. So I am going to, it may look a bit weird, but I am going to add them as like with color first, and then I'll draw the lines. We're changing our strategy so that we're never thinking too much about what we're doing. And we can just create with no mental blocks. Because we were talking about this a lot, that sometimes maybe because we're thinking too much about shapes and how characters should be and how animals should be or whatever we're drawing, because we're thinking too much, we cannot do it the way that we want to. But then when we see, I said this also a few times. I'm sorry for the ones that have heard it a lot, but I'm taking the opportunity in case again we have someone new watching. Gina Gina shared something really cool about her uh, morning blobs, daily morning blobs, and I think that that's such a good exercise to find really cool new shapes. She explains it very well in the community space. Okay, we have the full base for this. Let's work on the eyes. Can we give it the same eyes as my little ghost? Maybe. Maybe they have to be a bit smaller and a bit farther apart. Maybe we can add glasses. Maybe they can be. I'm gonna have to get new glasses for the Christmas drawing camp. Sunglasses. um, okay. I like that the eyes are not like very. Um, sorry, I just read an older message. I don't know who sent the email. Maybe it was my ghost assistant. um okay. I like that the eyes are like that and not very well, not the same, not symmetrical. You see, like I'm looking for those little things, little quirky details. Let's add a couple of sparkles. And after this one, we can be done, because what's going to happen is I need to finish making dinner, and I need to finish speak, see, hear, know evil, or whatever the order is for that. I don't think I ever get it right, and I don't know if there's one specific way to say it. I do have some of those here. I think I don't think that's how I got inspired for the prompt. Not that it's something that I created. I mean, but I do have these little guys here. I like them. They're fun. They were a fun addition to my background there. One day I forgot to send you this. While you have time, join the community space. One day the sun was coming. As I told you, there are many like cool projections on my wall here. The sun was coming through, and I saw that this guy was covering his eyes. And the sun was hitting his face, and I thought that was really like a really cool coincidence. So I will share this picture in the community space. Okay, I'm going to make a silly looking mouth. Something like this. And are we oh, we need, you know what? We need a little bit of a blush. And we need to add a little bit of let's see if this works, because I don't know. I'm gonna go back to the gourd layer and see how that looks. Maybe. And those things don't look like a blush. So I'm going to switch it for, it has to be like this color, but we're gonna make it on a new layer, and we're gonna make this slightly lighter. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna put it there and I'm gonna play with the blending modes because I'm sure something will happen. We're gonna be able to make it work. Let's see. That is like that would be a lot of makeup. Okay, let's see. Hmm. The problem is that this is getting confused with the words. I may have to go without a blush. I'm just gonna leave it out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, silly Gord. Um, let's go over a few things with black, and then that is it for today for our carving craze. Uh, not a lot of carving, more like adding little details to in little expressions to our pumpkins. I know that a lot of you prefer the cute Halloween decorations more than the spooky ones. So either painting a pumpkin like this um, or decorating it would be a cool idea. These are like a bit dark. We're gonna reduce the opacity. And then we can also turn this into alpha lock and play with a color. Maybe it doesn't have to be black. Maybe it can be a darker orange. And so it blends a little bit more than the black. Okay, we have 3. That's pretty good. I'm going to post 3 illustrations today for not 3, 3 little stamps with my little ghosts that are covering their eyes, mouth, and ears. But if you want to work a little bit more, I had made this one that was inspired by my Halloween class on Skillshare. I love how I keep mentioning it, but at the same time, I don't want to talk too much about. I don't want people to watch it because I don't like my voice in it. So that's great. But I'm gonna talk about it because who cares, right? I mean, we it's okay when you improve, whether it's in your art or the things that you do. I think that, and I'm not trying to say that I'm any more eloquent now, but when you improve in the way that you communicate, maybe a little bit, then you look back and you say, "Hey, that sucked," you know. So it's a good thing when someone, looks back at oneself and says, I didn't like that. I'm not happy with what I did or what I said or the voice that I used. Something to think about. If anyone cringes about their past work, that's good news. That's a good thing to happen. Okay, we have this one. This one I actually carved myself. The one that was real. I forget with what it was, but it wasn't a pumpkin carving tool. It was like a different thing to make holes. And then I put a little candle inside, and it was really cute for a week. And then it started to rot, so I had to throw it away. Um, then we have something like this. I also like for this one, I had taken inspiration from a gourd that had little. I mean, these are like super common, but the other day when I went to the fall festival, um, I I saw them again, so I wanted to bring the texture over the little colors over to my pumpkin, and I wanted to do something different, right? Because we always draw like circular, like round pumpkins. What if we draw something a bit wider? What if we exaggerate it a little bit? Then I made this one. This one came from I'll talk about two more, and then I'll let you go too. This one came as inspiration from, I gave it to you in the brushes. It's called mushroom gourd. I don't know what it's called in real life, but it looks like a mushroom, so we're gonna go with mushroom gourd. um, and it's a little owl, or it's intending to be. And I added a couple of weird branches for the wings. And then this one I reused, actually, the little jack-o'-lantern from my spooky parcel illustration. You may recognize the expression. So yeah, you can have fun with these. The brushes are there. I think some of them, like these two, are in last week's goodies. You can just make them white and then play around with like adding detail to them, as I did myself. Okay, I hope you had fun as usual. I hope you learned something, you enjoyed today's workshop. Somehow it gave you time to work on your prompts, whatever I could help you with, or I added to your day. I'm really happy about that. We celebrated Susan's birthday. We had the special announcement. You got your ghost email. We're good. We did it all, and we spent some time with this carving craze prompt. So I'm happy. I'm gonna go through the chat as usual a little bit later today. So again, thank you for being here as usual, my challenge buddies. I really appreciate it. And even Roxy, that's like, I don't even know what time it is over over there in Italy. I appreciate it so much. I love everything that you've been creating. Keep creating, even if it's like a tiny thing. I love it. I love your stories. I love your character names. Everything that you're doing is fantastic, and it adds a lot to all of us. It inspires all of us. I love it. And I love that you do it all on your own. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you have fun for the rest of the week and this weekend. And thank you so much again. I'll see you in the community space. That is not the right one. There we go. We're not gonna do a countdown again.